What do these three characters have in common? Ebenezer Scrooge, King Midas, the Grinch. Can you guess? It's all about greed, kasakiman, katakawan, inggit. We hate these characters because they are greedy. We rejoice when they change for the better. But when you look closer, doesn't these three characters also reflect some greediness within us? Welcome to Pathways of Hope. I am Alvin Fabelia. Today, let's talk about greed as we reflect on Luke 12, verses 13 to 21. In our modern society, we're able to produce a lot in such a short time. But despite this ability, why do we still have supply problems? If we're able to produce a lot of food, why do we still see hungry people all around us? If we're able to produce a lot of medicines, why do people die due to very simple diseases? At the start of the pandemic, what problem did we have? Specifically for our healthcare professionals, our doctors, our nurses. Wala po silang mabiling face masks. There was a supply problem in terms of face masks. Because some families, some homes, purchase more than what they actually need. What's the root cause of all these problems? Isn't it greed, kasakiman, katakawan, thinking about ourselves first? In the book of Exodus, chapter 20, God said, "You shall not have any other gods beside me." But when we practice being greedy and we put our trust on objects, then we are violating that commandment. Because we find security in objects, in our possessions. And our possessions start to possess us. That is greediness. And greediness is an endless cycle that goes on and on and on. How does it start? It starts with a craving that you want this object, you want this thing, you want this possession. Then later on, you already have the ability to buy it. So bibili ka na. At pag nabili mo na siya, what happens? That's the problem of the rich man in our gospel today. He asked this question, "What shall I do? For I do not have space to store my harvest." And he said, "This is what I shall do. I shall tear down my barns and build larger ones." The rich man in today's gospel had a big harvest. But instead of sharing it to the poor, to those in need, he chooses to build the bigger tower so that he can collect more for himself. Hindi ba ganyan din tayo? Once we get hold of that object that we want, we look at it and we tell ourselves, kailangan ko pa ng isa nito. Dalawa, 5, 10. We focus on collecting it. And as we collect, as we accumulate, we get attached to the possession. When we are attached to the possession, we find it hard to let go. We find it hard to share. We find it hard to give to the poor, to those in need. Jesus is telling us, watch out. Watch out for this thing called greed. Because you are not called to accumulate things. Instead, you are called to be a blessing to others. Do not accumulate. Donate. Do not be attached. Be detached to material possessions. God wants to bless others through you. Starting today, stop the greed and start the generosity. If you were blessed by today's video, please like and share it to your friends. Or better yet, type their name on the comment section. Help us to be a pathway of hope to others. God bless your week.